What's up, oh my God, boobies! Apparently my estrogen's a little high. Gentlemen, I think we all can agree that boobies on spicy senoritas is definitely sweet. Boobies on us dudes, not so sweet. But unfortunately, if our estrogen levels are high, the chance of us developing boobies is also elevated. Because when your estrogen levels are out of balance or a little bit elevated, there are some unfortunate things and side effects that happen to the male body. And today, gentlemen, we're gonna talk about them. So if you're ready, gentlemen, why don't you drop me one of these and be like, yo, Alpha, you actually look pretty sexy with boobs. And if you didn't drop me one of these, I will assume you don't think I'm pretty. So this video is gonna be broken up into two different parts. Part number one, we're gonna talk about some signs and symptoms that your estrogen level may be a bit high or elevated. The second part, we're gonna talk about some common reasons why estrogen levels in men tend to rise. All right, so the first thing we have to talk about is something called aromatase. Aromatase is an adrenal enzyme that our body produces to basically convert androgens to estrogens. Now you're like, yo, why the hell would our body want to convert androgens, testosterone, to estrogens? And the reason is pretty simple. We need both in order to operate optimally. But when that balance gets out of whack and that estrogen level climbs, some bad things happen to our body. So the first sign that your estrogen levels may be elevated is that you got man boobies, all right? Whether or not you have gyno or you just got fat titties. So gynecomastia is caused by an imbalance of testosterone and estrogen, all right? It is very common in young men. It's also very common in dudes who take steroids because of the imbalance, right? When you give your body a synthetic testosterone, your estrogen level starts to rise to try and maintain that balance, right? Your body is like super freaking smart, but one of the downsides is that oftentimes you will develop some type of breast tissue behind your nipple. Fat titties, on the other hand, are caused by an increase of body fat carried and contained in the chest. The next sign that you may have increased estrogen levels in your body is stunted growth during puberty. So is the reason why I'm 5'6.5" because my estrogen levels were high? Chances are probably not that good, considering my parents are short, all right? Most of the time it is due to genetics, but once in a while, if you are dramatically shorter, it could be estrogen. Some other signs of high estrogen levels in men: water retention, right? If you are somebody that is retaining a lot of water in your face, this is possibly a sign that your estrogen levels are elevated. Also, being tired all the time. When your estrogen levels are high, this actually inhibits your thyroid's ability to do its conversions and what it needs to do, resulting in you having a difficult time maintaining your energy level throughout the day. The next sign that your estrogen levels may be high is increased belly fat. Gentlemen, belly fat, specifically around the midsection, is a sign that your estrogen levels may be elevated. The other sign is that you eat pizza all the time and you have a crappy diet. So the next thing we got to talk about, gentlemen, in terms of estrogen levels is Big Al and the twins, all right? Another common sign of high estrogen is infertility in men. So infertility is one of the most common signs of high estrogen levels in men. Another very common sign is poor erectile quality, meaning like it's not that good, you can't get it up, or you just don't have any interest in sex. I know that erectile dysfunction is not an easy topic to discuss. You know, most of the time as dudes, we blame it on like, we're getting older, we lost our mojo, or I'm not feeling it, not tonight, honey. With Roman, today's video sponsor, it's easy to talk about with a healthcare professional who can prescribe real medication. It's simple, safe, and totally discreet. With Roman, you can get a free online evaluation and ongoing care and treatment for your ED, all from the comfort and privacy of your home. A healthcare professional will work with you to find the best treatment plan, and if medication is appropriate, Roman will ship it to you with free 2-day shipping. The whole process is straightforward, simple, and discreet. And getting started is simple. Guys, all you gotta do is go to GetRoman.com/alpha and complete an online visit. Erectile dysfunction, it used to be tough to tackle, but now there's Roman. Guys, complete an online visit today to connect with a healthcare professional and take care of it. If you're ready, gentlemen, to take care of your ED today, hit that link down below. Go to GetRoman.com/alpha, and if approved, you're gonna get $15 off your first order of ED treatment, plus a free online visit, plus free 2-day shipping. That's GetRoman.com/alpha to get $15 off your first order of ED treatment. Another sign of elevated estrogen level is that you have lost lean muscle mass, right? If you used to be like pretty firm, but all of a sudden you're like, damn, I'm kind of squishy, right? And you're still working out, you're still lifting weights, this is another sign of high estrogen levels in men. Something else that's a sign is being overly emotional or moody. You're emotional, right? You're always like getting upset, you're moody, you're crying, right? which is something that when I read that, I was like, oh damn, I probably need to go get my estrogen level checked because I am somebody that it seems like lately I have been getting like more emotional, right? I'll think of something like beautiful, or I'll see like a random act of kindness, and it chokes me up. You know, it's funny, but I don't get upset when I see like hardship and like things that are bad. But when I see kindness, this is something that touches me. And for whatever reason, I get choked up. And as you guys have seen, I'm somebody that does, show their emotion. And so, I don't know, it might be that my estrogen levels are high. Recently, I got my testosterone level checked, and I was actually pleasantly surprised and actually shocked that it was as good as it actually was. I never knew what my testosterone level was, and I assumed that it was actually low because of a few reasons, because I'm a short dude, I don't have like an Adam's apple or a deep voice, and so the last time I was at the doctor, I was like, yo doc, can you actually check my testosterone level? And he's like, are you sure you want that? Why? Are you not feeling? I'm like, I just want to know. I got my results. If you guys want to hear the story and know what my testosterone level is, I'm going to link to a video that I did talking about it. That video will be linked down below. Another downside to having a higher estrogen level, guys, is an increased risk of cardiovascular disease. Some other things that happen is actually hair loss. When your estrogen level is too high, you can actually thin. Now, a lot of guys are like, yo, I'm just getting older, it's naturally thinning. Well, one of the other byproducts to getting older is that our estrogen levels tend to increase. And the last sign that is very common for high estrogen level in men is depression. There have been a bunch of studies that have actually shown that men that have increased levels of estrogen do suffer higher rates of depression. And so if you're somebody that is, depressed, or you're feeling like pretty low, it's worth going and getting some blood work done to see what your estrogen and testosterone ratio is. If it's out of whack, that's when things get bad in terms of our body. All right, so those are the most common signs of high estrogen levels in men. If you're somebody that you think might have like some of those signs, it is definitely worth going to the doctor and getting a blood panel done, right? Just to know where your levels are, whether or not your testosterone level is where it needs to be, if it's low, and if your estrogen level is high or low. Guys, it's all about feeling the best you can. Now, let's talk a little bit about why estrogen levels in men tend to rise. The first reason is you are overweight. In our fat cells, we have aromatase. Aromatase, remember that enzyme that converts like testosterone into estrogen? Well, when you have more body fat, you have more aromatase. The more aromatase you have, the more converting of testosterone is done by your body. Have you ever seen like a morbidly obese individual and they almost have like a feminine appearance? Sometimes they won't have like much body hair, but they have like a softer, more feminine face oftentimes. And the reason is actually because of the increased estrogen level that they have due to the excessive amounts of body fat. Some other reasons why estrogen levels tend to rise in men, all right, medications. There are certain medications that actually increase estrogen levels. There are also something called like adrenal tumors. These are not like super common, but they do happen. But the other really common reason why your estrogen testosterone balance might be out of whack is due to testosterone replacement therapy, or you're taking some type of steroids or performance enhancing drugs. And like we said, when you take synthetic testosterone, your estrogen level is going to rise to try and maintain that balance. Guys, it's all about balance, the yin and yang of your body. In conclusion, gentlemen, when it comes to hormones, it's all about balance. Your body wants to maintain a certain level. And when things get out of whack or out of balance, that's when we have problems with their body. If you are somebody that is concerned that your estrogen level may be too high or your testosterone level may be too low, it is definitely worth going and getting it checked by a doctor. If your personal hormonal yin and yang is out of balance, gentlemen, they can help you get it back on track. I wanted to talk today about estrogen because we talk about testosterone, because testosterone's sexy, right? Testosterone's sexy to talk about. As a dude, we want it, we need it, we crave it, and we try to get more of it. But estrogen is another part of the equation. You also need it, but when too much of it happens, then you also have some issues. What? Are you kidding me? Yes, please.